Hello, everybody. Who have we here? Two likes. I'm happy. Just doing a little bit of a pre-production live, and giving you music. If you want to know what this is, there. Something I found online. No copyright sound. Somebody was saying, don't add music to your videos. Well, let's make sure you can hear me. Well. So, hey, Yiwei Chen. How are you? Yiwei, ni hao. 做什么? Who is that? Chen? What's your English name? Yiwei Chen, 你英文名字是什么? Eddie? Hey. How's it going? Well, I'm talking about ancient history nowadays. Yeah, I of course. Well, I think I know which Eddie this is. You're not my student in university? You have met me in person. You have just you've met me before. In person, I think it goes without saying. I mean, we've met in person. We've met in person. You know, I don't want to get too picky with contractions. Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. Okay, so you got me off track now. I was all ready to talk about this stuff that I just found. Let's start from the other day. The other day, I showed you these straight lines. Now, you want to put a gun up to my head and tell me I have to decide whether that's natural or not. I probably won't take your offer. However, if you want to talk about how illogical this stuff seems, yeah, there's some areas where it's just so straight. But there are some areas where it's also looks like sand dunes. So I'm not going to say that this is a natural and bet my life on it. But we do need to talk about it. And I do have some things to say. But when it comes to these gaps and gutters, lines in the soil, nubs and peaks, and the plateaus and cliffs that get reclamation lines going across them, and ridges and walls that are seen all over the world. Now, these lines are in question. You know, this is up in northern Africa. These lines, to me, look like they were scattered by unnatural methods. And we see these little things going on top of older stones all the time. Let's take a look at some lines that I want to ask you about. This one is a plateau. You can see the plateau. You can see the plateau here. There's other plateaus down here. These plateaus have a beige top. And then all of a sudden you get this nipple. You get this weird purple content placed on top of it. You're going to tell me that's a volcano, and then it came through the plateau and then started to decay, this gray matter, this purple turning into green, turning into what's this color? That's not really green, but it changes a very it's changing the color of the top of the thing. So is that a volcano that came right through there? I got a lot of questions about that. Take a look at these two specimens. On the right, you see rock that looks like it's aged and weathered, and maybe somebody even put a gap through it here and here. Maybe most of those rocks are aged, except going through, there's this dotted line. It goes all the way through. You can see it there, of this newer stone, not aged. It's a mound of dirt with a spine on it. It goes through the desert, and you see these ridges everywhere. I have my theories about why it's not a complete line here. Is it underneath the sediment? Probably. Was there a great flood? Uh-oh. Yeah, I got okay, just got something before it went off. Anyways, so there we have some examples of these. Where now that's interesting because they don't match up. Now, is that because of tectonic plate movement? I see a lot of that. I see it all the time. But you back up and you can see these dotted line mountains all throughout the Taman Reset area. Taman Reset Mountain. The Photoshop dude in Nehu. The Photoshop dude in Nehu. I know Nehu, but Photoshop. Oh. Oh, okay. You're talking about, yeah, you got me the suite. You hooked me up. But did you change your name? Yeah, nice to see you. Hey, a long time, right? And you really hooked me up. I still have that software. I got a new computer. I didn't install that software. Yeah, and I my old computer. Yeah. Actually, I still have that hard drive. I might reconnect it. Of course, I remember now. Yeah, nice to see you. Let me finish what I'm talking about here, and if you stick with me, because we haven't talked in a while, and I know you knew I was interested in this topic. Let me just change it from north to south. If you go to Africa, right in the middle, there's two big mountains, three, maybe four. Libya, that's more of a, is that a mountain or a city? That's a mountain, right? So there's mountains in the desert, and the one here in the middle of Algeria is the Taman Reset mountain. There's a city of Taman Reset right there. And when you back out of that, you start to see all the different work that's been done. I don't believe for a second that that's a natural line of mountains. How did they do it? Well, I have my theories, and I would probably say one thing we see consistently is this shape right there. This is that right there 45? No, it's more like 30 degree angles. And I'll show you a couple more, but they're also all over the world. I found one down here that's like if I can find it, we'll see. I think it's in Zimbabwe. And I'm not talking about that one. That's almost too big for me to believe. Now, the title of this is... wait, look at that. Look at that. See that line? When I see that line and then I look down and see it again down here, I start to think that's a pretty damn big, unnaturally created mountain. Do I really think that? Don't put a gun up to my head. Don't put a gun up to my head, but there are some pictures I've taken of some pretty straight things. Oh, that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one. I've never actually seen that one before. That's great. I almost want to open up a new picture. Leave that one alone for later. What's this one? Old. The definition of old. You know, these mountains, you get old ones and new ones. Now I'm going to show you the ones that I found. I'm sorry. I have to give credit. I have to give credit to the person who really showed me, and that would be Anthony Tunstall over at Zero Control. He showed me. I'm going to go there right now. This is other places. This is up in the north. Where is this? That's up near Oregon. I don't know why it's turned aside, but I did find these great... I lost them. Anthony Tunstall over at Zero Control. That's youtube.com/C/Zero Control. And he showed me this a long time ago because I was looking for some ridges. And I'm going to show you right now these ridges. Not down here. It's actually right up here. You can see them pretty far out from space. I mean, we're 6,000 meters high, right? 5,000 meters high. You're looking down at the clouds still. Where are those clouds going to disappear? Why do those clouds appear? So this is my thumbnail right here. That's the thumbnail. And you've got these parallel ridges or Tunstall walls. You know, isn't that funny? Oh, there's another one over here. And these things came straight out of this mountain here. This plateau. There's two more down here. And you can see it really clear. and it goes right up into, and look at that. And now the funny thing about this is, which is older, the plateau with um, this little ridge here, this little amphitheater or a crevice or whatever you call this valley, side valley, and then you've got this corrective line going right up against it, doing what purpose? Probably creating a channel so to control water. Not sure, but you can see them all around this mountain. This is what the video is about. This is why I called us together. I just wanted to show you that there's some on this side of the mountain as well. If you get over here and you can get in there, you can find them. There's one, I forgot where it was though. It was coming right out. There's one down here. That's an interesting one, right? And here's that, what I call that nub that's created. And this thing is going over. Look at the way the trees and the plants, they look like it's not even a separate piece of rock. Here, though, it's different. You can kind of see where it was added. In fact, it looks like it froze before it smoothed out. You've got this, always a ridge that's like wider than 10 feet, like 15 feet wide. Let's see. This says feet-wise, it's 42 feet wide. So there's always this ridge at the top of these things. I mean, you can leave south, and then that thing goes up into the mountain. You can follow it up there. What is it? Oh, it's a volcanic dike. I don't think so. It's making a line going over this part. I would say ancient civilization. Thank you for your question, E1. I would never say aliens did it. I would never say that. I want to show you the other side now. Right over here, you have the same thing. Parallel channels created coming from the mountains. I think it's some type of ancient water control. That line right there, going up into the hills, disappearing there. Is that it? Disappearing there. There's another one over here. Kinda. Maybe not. Who knows? That's a road. That line right there is interesting. Is that a mountain or a road? The straight line going up into the hills. Some type of a... What are we seeing here? This must be upside down. I mean, like I said, it's an ancient wall. And when you see this thing going right over the top, and it's right on... It's not part of this. You see the weathering and the natural curves of this terracing here, and that line there comes out there. So this stuff was put on top. Here's another one, a small one. A small one. Now, don't think that this is the first time I've seen this. It's not. I've seen this all over the world. This is South America. This is Argentina. I can show you this in Africa. I can show you this in the United States, North America. I can show you in many places. These walls created to channel and to hold water. I mean, they're very old. They're not new. They're not modern day. And when you see it like this, and it looks like it's been weathered into the mountain for years, but then you go down and it's still a separate line from the mountain. It's this. I believe this is an example where they use the same material to create these walls. They took this material from someplace else and created the wall someplace else nearby, like the same plateau. Those rocks have the same. Look at these. That's a road. I got lost. Where are we? So this little mountain peak here has three sides of lines coming from it. But where's the volcano? There's no volcanic dikes. These lines are straight and parallel, so they can't be coming from a volcano. They've got geometric shape. This is what I'm talking about. These lines, you know, this is South Africa right now. And South Africa, you want to know the other place? The other place is South America. And I just want to make it clear. When you look at this, you've got lines coming out here. Take a close look right now. You can see all sides. On this side here, on this side here, and on this side here. The power for that is hard to imagine. I've been thinking about it. But I do want to say that, oh, now I got lost. Now I got lost. Go back in, go back in. Okay, I got lost because I zoomed out. This line, where's that line? Where is the line? Yeah, I'll have to do it one more time. Here's how we find it. Go to my Was This Atlantis, and you can see the examples here. There it is. Just go to those links. And let's take a look at some of those other pictures. These weird dotted line dribble mountains, don't understand it. It's some type of a texturing, terracing they're doing. Again, I think it's about catching rain and water control. They're trying to stop the water from just draining away. They're putting up walls. What's the wall doing? The walls are stopping water from going through. I know that this might look natural to you, but trust me when I say that it's not natural. Now I'm not asking questions anymore. This is a good example of something you see where and I had it ready. Let's go there. Now this line, before we go there, I'll show you this. This one is the one that I lost, and I'm going to just show you. This line goes on for a long time. It's not just some kind of a volcanic dike. When you can follow that line forever, 40 miles, the line just goes through. Now this one was cut through here, but it also has a line going around here. So they're both going around. These lines go on forever. This is the cut through. That's the cut through that I started with. I wanted to show that because it is an amazing cut through. I mean, the plateau has literally been cut through. And that line goes on for more miles. This is a nub. That line is almost like a Nazca line. There's more. These lines are everywhere in South Africa. And these aren't roads. If you think I'm looking at a road, it's not a road. Are they linked between Africa and South America? Well, this is one of the things. Somebody was there. Humans may have done this, but like you said, the power, maybe it was ancient aliens, the Anunnaki. Maybe it was. Here, look at this. Look at those. See, when I see that, when I see these lines, I say somebody's done something to that. And the reason why is check my previous video. The line's still going. It stops here? No, it keeps going. We can follow that line for hundreds of miles. And here's some other lines meeting it. And no, it's not part of the Earth. The lines are going on for hundreds of miles. Okay? Let's measure that. Because there's the thing we cut through. Let's just measure that. And by the way, it was still going, so I'm just giving you an idea of the measurement. This is not a volcanic dike. When it goes on for 71 miles. Thank you, Ewan. It's okay if you don't stay, but as you can see, I've been doing some look at the world. 71 mile long volcanic dike? I don't think so. Now, yeah, the weird... What looks like sand dunes down here turns into straight lines up there. That was my last video. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about this. Whatever machine they used, I don't think they did this by hand. They like to make a turn. Now, these are 90 degrees almost. But in general, I usually see a 30 degree. I can show you one that I found that I think is really big. I have to go way, way back. It's going to take forever. Those dikes in Colorado don't go through, they go up and over. This is New Mexico. And North America has these rock walls just like South America, just like South Africa. Parallel lines 10 miles apart. Let me see how I can make this bigger. That's it? Okay, well, anyways, I even think Devil's Tower might be as part of this ancient megalithic terraforming. Here's some more up in Colorado, parallel lines. This is one of those, can I zoom in? This is one of those where I think I've seen the, I'm trying to show you here. No, this is not the one. It's the parallel one. I'll just keep going. This is, there's so many lines. I went here. I didn't visit these two peaks in Africa, but I went to Africa. I don't know. Iwe, did you know I went to Africa? And near the place I visited, these lines go right through the peak, and they cut up the mountain. Here's one here, here's one here, and they're all parallel. They go straight down, double bisection. This is happening in Sahara Desert, where there's ancient quarrying and mining, where they're removing rocks. And according to the people I listen to, Randall Carlson says this has been going on for hundreds and thousands of years. So they're true stone masons. This has been reptilianized by removing the megabreccia on top of it. These gaps, they go on 32 miles. It goes through all this stuff, 32 miles. So is it a canal? Another example of quarrying and mining. But you can go by yourself to Was This Atlantis and see these links. I believe that all the quarrying on top of this plateau was finished. They took all that top megabreccia off there. Here's an example of them cutting it up, getting it ready for quarrying. This is hard to see here. A very important site in Tibesti. I suggest you go take a close look at this to prove that ancient megalithic terraforming exists. I mean, when they did this to the mountain, there was still green in the Sahara Desert, but now this is what's left. This ancient terraforming in the Tibesti Mountains. That machining, where they cut all these canals away from the main river to get the water. And additionally, I don't know, if you say that, you have to look at the big picture. Modern day miners in the middle of the Sahara Desert. Maybe I should show you where this is. We're out here in the middle of the Sahara Desert. And you're in the northern end of Chad. And when you go in here, you can see they've created grids. They've created canals. And over here, you can even see these dribble mountains that were added later. That was added probably before this machining was done, because it goes right through, right? I think that the machining is, I don't know, look at that. That mountain looks older than the machining. So I don't know what to think. But it goes deeper than that. It goes into the mountain. This has all been worked. Look at this. That's all been worked. They've created all these side canals. This is a very, very large area. In fact, it's probably, and I think if these are volcanoes, then they must have been long dead. That looks like a volcano to me, or at least a mountain, but these volcanoes are pretty flat. Maybe they're craters. But, sorry, the water, looks like they're trying to direct the water through here. Look at all this. When I see this, I feel like it's a symptom of this work that's been done in these mountains. And it's all to collect water, in my opinion, right? So there's some mining going on, there's some water going on, and it seems like when they make these mountains, they stop and turn and they make a little trail that goes away. I've seen it at a lot. It's 30 degrees. Sometimes this one comes down and makes it turn. This one comes down and makes it turn. They're trying to control water. It's always next to a river. Then you get more of these added mountains here. Look at the difference between this mountain and that mountain. Well, I don't know how you can say the whole Sahara was a seabed. That's, I think the word is there's the ocean underneath it. But when you go into it, you have mountains. Look at this line here. This is near Tamanrasset, and you start at the bottom, and let's measure that line, because you think, oh, that's impossible to be unnatural. It's 1,000,000 feet. It's 1.3 million feet, which is 250 miles. Well, I think we're looking at these lines going through here. They were added, and you can follow those lines up. I know it's extreme to say that, but you can see that one line go through. And maybe it was broken and started again. These little dotted things are everywhere, and to me, they're older than the bedrock. They were put on top of it. Yeah, it's a big, big job. I didn't really want to get too far into the desert today, but I'm just telling you that when you see these lines, you can't just... Some of them are very natural looking. But I have to be honest, when I go to Tamanrasset, which is right here, and I move over to the right, I start to see these dotted line mountains. Oh, where are we located today? Well, I started this video showing you South America. South America has a couple of things that I wanted to make sure to get. So that's why I titled this Ancient Lines in South America. Now you have to find it. Yeah, there you go. So if you want to go to Argentina, and when you're here, you're right about here, then you can easily find these lines right here. 2 lines going north. This is, where are we? Whoops, sorry. I just want to make sure we're north and south, right? So when you see this, you can say that this line is really, okay, so now it's not so east-west. This is the thumbnail right here. The thumbnail is looking like this. This is channels on the east side of this mountain. But wait, there's more channels on the west side of this mountain. And not just a few. 1, 2, 3, 4 big ones and some small ones up here. A couple others. I showed them already. There's one right there on this side. And if you zoom in and take a look at that, you can see that there's a couple layers added to that. But it's definitely going through older rock. That's old. So you can see this is older than that. But they added this material. It makes me feel like it's the same material. Like somehow they just scooped it up. The machine they used, I still want to know what that machine looks like. And let's not forget on the south side, because we can also find them right here. They are here, and other lines that are coming from the south side right there. So South America was the main focus, but then we went back over to talk about the Tamanrasset. This is Tibesti. I showed that. Hey Kofi, we're almost finished talking for about 30 minutes, and we ended up at the Tamanrasset Mountains City. And I'd love to go there. It's in Algeria, right? I don't know how friendly they are to foreigners. But right down here, you can see these mountains that have been added. And those mountains seem to correlate with the ones down below. Wait, we're here? Lots of stuff going on. So yeah, if it was a bed, the mountains could have been added later. Oh, thank you, Jason. And thanks for all the thumbs up. 6 thumbs up. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I can stay for another couple minutes. It's almost noon and I've had a beer already. I shouldn't have done it. It made me all tired, and drinking is no good. We should never drink in the middle of the day. I was also saying that I wasn't going to bet my life that these Namibian canals were not. I mean, look, let's be honest. They are very straight here, but where they start at the bottom, and these things go on for miles and miles. I really feel like, especially when I see that, I really feel like that's manufactured, not natural. I mean, first of all, these are no longer. If okay, let's say they were sand dunes. They're not now. And I say is that a plant at the top or is that stone? I don't know because I can't see it clearly enough. Maybe there's a street view of this stuff somewhere. Let's back out and see if we can see it. Any street views? We have a little bit here. Let's check this out. See, but these are the where it looks like a dune. So this right here, let's see if I can see what this material even looks like. That's it? Just dirt? Wow, and it looks like clay, like it's been rained on. So if these were dunes, they certainly are not dunes now. Those are not sand dunes. See, that's the issue I have. The logic says that they were sand dunes, but let me see if I can get the straight ones. Oh, that's it? No more? No more. It's a beautiful area. Oh, here we go. Here's some more over here. Let's see if we can get to the straight ones. Would I say I'll bet my life? Yeah, the drone problem. I did take a drone, but it failed me, number one. Number two, it also was illegal. I have a drone in Mauritania waiting for me, but I think I need to buy a second one and learn how to use it. Now, is this grass? Look how lush it turned. So here's another one of these so-called sand dunes. I don't know. That's awesome. What the heck is that? I guess they tried to pave it once. So these in my opinion, are honestly, I'm not going to bet my life either way. I wouldn't bet my life that they are natural. I wouldn't bet my life that they are unnatural, because they're just too crazy. These things are straight. I mean, they're not perfectly straight, but down here they look like sand dunes. But where's let's get the straight part. Where's that straight part? Maybe we have a chance up here. If we could find it right here, I'd like to see that. What's this? This is a weird sand dune, because usually you see the the trees growing in between the dunes down where the water is. Is that a person in there? Are those ducks? That's freaking me out. And over here, so there's something special about these mountains, aren't there? They're mining in there. The people are going in there getting clay. Is that really a person? Here, let's go to the next one and see if that's a person. Those are just rocks. That looks like a person. Yeah, that's not a person. Let's look at the next one. No, those are rocks. But they're definitely people are taking that clay. Thank you, Dan. Look at that big tree. You can see it down there. I mean, how do you have a sand dune that's now clay? That doesn't make sense to me either. When you have a sand dune, it's sand. It does, and it may get wet, and then you have wet sand. You're not going to turn wet sand into clay. You're not going to take wet sand into clay. Yeah, it's always going in different directions. That's why I tried to start my new channel. My new channel is was this Atlantis, and I tried to give some animation and the music. I'm still changing it around, but I do hope you can Glacier. Yeah, I hope you can subscribe. It's down in the description. Subscribe to that other channel. One of these days, I'm gonna have all my Taiwan videos. Dan, you'd want to see my Taiwan videos, don't you? Hey, well, how? Well, 很好，谢谢。谢谢你 Johnny， 我很好。一位，你可以讲国语吗？ Oh, thank you, Jason. Yeah, so I did the video last time, and maybe I rushed to judgment, but wait, you got to turn it over. It's in Namibia, and these straight lines are just blowing me away. That one, let's try to see that. Sometimes these little dots disappear. That's a river. Well, we're not going to see anything by the river. The river ran through it. There you go. This is not a desert. There's no sand dunes here. People are saying sand dunes. Like, those are sand dunes! Well, they may have been sand dunes. They may have been sand dunes. Is this a road? That's weird. There's some type of a okay. A little tour. That's nice. Photosphere. That's the river. I want to see these lines next to the river. It just, to me, with all the other stuff I've seen, when I see these straight lines, it just, to me, seems a little bit too... Now those, I think we're going south again, right? Yeah, I was going the wrong way. When you get down, it starts to look like so-called sand dunes. But let's not say that these are currently sand dunes. You don't have trees growing on top of sand dunes. There's got to be nutrition. There's got to be water. What I saw was clay, so maybe these were formed millions and millions and millions of years ago. Anyways, 可以，当然可以讲国语。好多人不可以讲好多人，不行，我知道那个文法不行说好多人。It's 很多人 ，okay？ 很多台湾人可以看得到我的 video because I have a lot of subscribers from my classroom. I had a lot of help. Maybe not this channel, but yeah, they were doing this channel because I had my midterm and final tests on my YouTube channel, so they probably were. All right, what else can I show you today before I get out of here? South Africa has lines everywhere. The one place I like to take people is right here. Make sure we're north-south. Oops, stop. Gosh, I hate it when it does that. Okay, so when you go in here, you see certain mountains that are north-south, but these mountains are like created of some kind of a grid. When you go through here, the grid that you see here, it goes across the top. Kind of hard to see this season. South Africa has grids, and I believe ancient mining over here. These little plateaus are all cut up, and then, I mean, they did a lot of mining around here. And they got a lot of walls and lines connecting them all. Look at that gap right there. That gap was an ancient line that's a house. Whoops. Oh, the Taiwan videos are currently privatized. I will probably unprivatize them when I reach 10,000 subscribers. They're all monetized, and I just didn't want the channel to be confused from the Taiwan stuff. There's over 1,000 of them. Yeah, so one of these days I'll make them public and people can have at it. And I lived there for 25 years, so some of those videos are more than 10, 15 years old. I think at 15 I've got one that's 15 years old, but that's like a lifetime ago. Okay, I was going to show you this right here. Once I find it right here. Yeah, this one right here, if you want to see, there's lines going through, and there's lines going through, making a perfect isosceles triangle. But when you look at these structures, it looks like there's ancient mining all over. Yeah, I still have my book about SARS. I wrote that 20 years ago now. I wrote that. That was SARS. One was 2003, right? So now it's yeah. I published that book in well, 15 years is no. That's Taiwan. I've been trying to do this ever since Jimmy's video on Atlantis. When he connected the, I was looking at the Eye of Africa for, 12 years ago, 13 years ago. But I never really realized that there was an ancient civilization in the Sahara until after Jimmy did that one video. So you can see here, this structure has ancient roads on top of it with a little shortcut, and I can show you that same pattern. It's a 90-degree angle in there, and they look like they've mined it out as well. So I really think that this is a big part of the missing link down in South Africa, and I would like to get down there and take a look at this. This is in Lesotho, not South Africa, and I'm gonna one of these days try to get in there and visit this place. I found another place very similar to this in South Africa, and you can check my pictures over here in the Facebook. Go to the Facebook. Look at this one. Yeah, just obvious ancient technique in quarrying that made a very beautiful. This is very close by that other one. Very close. This is between the parallel canals that I visited. I walked here. And if I had gone over here, I would have seen the other canals when I went to Africa. I've seen this. Global consciousness. I'd say that my take on global consciousness is let me find a pretty picture. It's not a global consciousness anymore. We're not global. I mean, I live here and my world is in here. When I watch the news, I'm subjected to politics and hatred. Nobody's happy. Racism. Now we got the negativity from the LGBT community, and it's probably going to affect us for the rest of our lives. We don't know anything about ancient history. I was just reading, well, I want to show you now, because I was just reading the histories by Herodotus. It's very difficult. Did you know that he mentions Solon going to Africa? He mentions Solon. And he doesn't just mention Atlantis. He mentions Solon going to Egypt. This was written before. Now, by the way, when I do read this, it's good to probably use a nice YouTube video to narrate. And I was using this one, and the words are not exactly the same. This version and the words that he says in this version. By the way, this is a 10-hour video. Are you asking me, Kofi, or are you telling me? I believe there's ancient mining in South Africa. If you look at my other video, I get into it in quite a lot of detail. Global consciousness is we don't have a clue about where. This is 2,500 years ago. This is probably one of the oldest classics written. But when I listen to this, the words are different, so it's very entertaining. I kind of have to go back to, I think I was on page 20, if I'm not mistaken. And I do think that there's a lot. This history here is not the same what I'm looking for. I started watching some helping videos, and I fell asleep last night. So that's what happened. And that's it. I gotta get out of here, guys. Where are we with the? Where's the music? Let me see if I'm still hearing myself. Let me see if I'm still hearing myself. Where's the sound? Oh, the speaker's off. Where's the sound? Oh, the speaker's off. Yeah, it goes off automatically. Irritating. Yeah, it goes off automatically. There you go. So I'm still live. Well, that's weird. So I'll probably read this more later. It's a large read. I want to get the book. I'm probably going to buy it so I can sit there and read it instead of use the PDF. And the number of pages is like 631. And it's 10 hours. And by the way, this is just book 1. This is not the whole thing. This is just book 1. So book 2, there's a book 2 and book 4. So it's quite a read. Quite a lot of information about the world view 2,500 years ago. I would say we're lost. We're lost. We're controlled by our phones. We're in the middle of mass media. I mean, look at what Jimmy's last video was about. Google is losing its results, and you're only getting presented 25 results. If you don't know who I'm talking about with Jimmy, go to Bright Insight. People love Jimmy, and he's definitely interesting in regards to the. Where is it? It's coming soon. Coming soon. Coming soon. I feel like I passed it. Coming soon. There it is. They are deleting the internet. Oh my God. Okay, he loves to do that with his hands. But what he showed us in this is that you're getting the same results. So, I mean, we're in the middle of a control. We're being controlled by mass media. Everything we think, everything we do, you have to step out of that box and rediscover. It's the matrix. So that's how I feel about, what is it? Global consciousness. There is no global consciousness. Global consciousness is the mass media matrix that we're in. Yeah, Dan, if you know, he owes me a shout out. I mean, did you watch the video where he said pay a few $100 for pictures of the castle? I went there. I gave him his pictures. He never paid up. So I got some beef with Jimmy Corsini, but at the same time, I'm not going to fault him. I'm not going to fault him because he first of all, he's different from the other channels, and I don't know. He didn't make certain videos in the past that he promised. We'll see. With that being said, yeah, well, I don't know. When it comes to PDFs, I believe they're pretty good. I mean, this PDF is Herodotus. It's a 2,500-year-old text. This guy, George Rawlinson, he translated it, and it's very different. It's kind of funny. I should actually show it. Let me see here. Let's just go back to... Oh, I deleted it. Yeah, it's right here. Well, it's too hard, but the point that I'm trying to make is when I listen to him read and I read this, it's not the same at all. It's not word for word. Well, we'll see. We're waiting for his big video. He's given me the whole bubble before. I've played that game. You know what? I think I'm getting hungry. I think it might be time to get out there and get some food. It's noon. It's noon on Tuesday. It's 11:39 a.m. on Tuesday, August 16th. And I'm out of here.